finally starting to move now at 2 miles per hour to the north and west, and that's really some good news for the northern Bahamas as they were pounded by a major hurricane for 30 to 35 hours there with the eye wall interaction on Grand Bahama Island. And unfortunately, that's what we're watching for you here in the Action News Jax First Alert Weather Center as it pulls away, and getting reports as well from us from the Grand Bahama area, and it's not good with devastation, unfortunately, as you would expect from a major hurricane. Now, of course, moving to the northwest at 2 miles per hour, you can see there's that center of circulation, the eye wall moving away, and we're now at 2 miles per hour for movement. So at least it is moving now. Tuesday this afternoon by 8 p.m. still forecast to be a Category 2. So the strength forecast, the intensity forecast has been lowered to Category 2 status, but the waves have already been generated across the area, and the wind field is actually expanding. I'll elaborate on that a little bit more here in just a second. Wednesday in the morning to our south, through the day near and east of Jacksonville's latitude between 90 and 100 miles just offshore. That's still the same forecast as we had this morning, and so that has really not changed, though any deviation to the left of this track or to the west would significantly increase our local impacts at the immediate coast, and then back to the north and east with an upper level trough that'll kind of make it go back to the north and east and potentially make a landfall right along or skirt the North Carolina or South Carolina coastline again. So what has changed with this advisory through the morning? It's got winds of 110 miles per hour. Category 2 is what we're forecasting now, east of Jacksonville by about 90 to 100 miles on Wednesday afternoon and into the evening. And it still does have that slow northwesterly movement, but at least it's not stationary anymore. Here's the visible satellite for you showing the cloud tops there, and I've also overlaid the wind field, which again is expanding to 175 miles away from the center of circulation, with that area in yellow there, and the hurricane force winds are now at about 60 miles according to Air Force Recon. I want to show you a tweet from Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish. In fact, I'll go show it to you right now. He is seconding an important message from the National Hurricane Center. The headline for this Dorian advisory is not that the wind speed has slightly decreased. The combined wind, surge, and flooding hazards are the same or even worse since the hurricane has become larger. So, in other words, these are direct words from the Hurricane Center and from Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish. Don't get so caught up in the category. This has been an intense hurricane that has already produced swells that are already on their way here, and we're already seeing them pop up on our wave indicators here in the Action News Jax First Alert Weather Center. In fact, I'll show those to you right now as we continue to track things here. First, I want to go through that wind field. That's at 175 mile away from the center. Tropical storm force wind field, and that includes the coast, perhaps even to the St. Johns River Basin, and then it goes off to the north and east. This is not your typical 100-mile east of Jacksonville kind of hurricane. The swells have already been generated. It's going to be a beach battering, and even the winds can start as early as Wednesday morning, early between 3 and 5 a.m. for St. Augustine Beach. Those are spots we're particularly concerned about with the waves from Volano Beach over to and south to Anastasia Island, also into, say, the Crescent Beach area. We'll be watching that for you as well. Here's a live look from Jacksonville Beach on the Action News Jax First Alert Skycam network, where you can see the increasing surf already thanks to onshore winds and swells from Dorian. We also have another live look for you from the St. Augustine Pier thanks to surfline.com. Some folks out there are watching, but you can see those winds and waves beginning to increase, a very high rip current risk. We don't want anybody in the water because it's just not safe to do so as of right now, and we'll continue to monitor these cameras during the day and through tomorrow as well. It's 87 though with that northeast wind at 20 miles per hour at Jacksonville Beach, and we are seeing some showers. These are not directly related to Dorian yet. We'll have to watch each and every one of these for even some quick spin up water spouts or even an isolated tornado too this afternoon as they race off to the south and west around 30 to 35 miles per hour. In fact, Nocatee by 12:23, that one will be moving in. Also down to St. Johns County, crossing I-95 to the St. Johns River Basin, approaching US 17 now in Putnam County. You can see Palatka by 12:20 p.m. is what we're watching there. There it is on First Alert Doppler HD. You can see going away from the center, all those raindrops well off away. Hour by hour, there we go through the overnight and into the early morning hours of your Wednesday. That's when we'll be seeing, depending on how close the exact track is to us, That's when we'll be seeing those potential tropical storm force wind gusts of 30 to 40 and even 50+ miles per hour. Coming up in your first alert 7-day forecast, I'll be detailing local impacts. Meteorologist Maritza Ross will join me as well. That's coming up in your first alert 7-day forecast.